Let's talk now about the Abort test. The module that's going to carry astronauts is going to be fixed on a test vehicle. This is the plan essentially as far as the Abort test is concerned. So what is the Abort test and how does it really work? The crew module will not have actual astronauts. The crew module is going to be released from the escape system. That's how it's going to move forward. Essentially, this is to ensure the security of the astronauts and the humans who eventually go into space. Parachutes will be deployed and module is going to then drop into sea. There is a safest bet for humans as far as involvement of them in this mission is concerned. Escape system and launch vehicle will also fall into the sea. The process eventually is obviously going to show the safety of the human crew. The idea is to get them back safely, Shilpa, within a span of 3 days, essentially is what the test is going to show us. What more can you tell us about the duration of the actual mission, of the actual Gaganyaan mission, which when takes place in the year 2025, will have humans go into space?
Sneha, the basic idea that ISRO has shared with us as far as the Gaganyaan mission is concerned, around 3 astronauts will be part of this manned crew. The rocket, of course, will lift off from Sriharikota and it will go to an orbit of around 400 kilometers where the astronauts will be stationed for 3 days. And after 3 days, they will come back and they will touch down or they will splash down on the Bay of Bengal. That is what even today they're trying to, emulate. They're trying to, show without the crew, of course, without the manned crew. So what will happen essentially is the specially designed launch vehicle today. It's a single stage rocket. It's a liquid propellant rocket. And on its fore, it has the crew module and the crew escape system that will be mounted. And when it reaches an altitude of 17 kilometers, an abort signal will be given. And once the abort signal is given, the crew module and the crew escape system detaches itself from the launch vehicle, and there will be a parachute that will be deployed, multiple parachutes that will be deployed, which will then help it touch down to the Bay of Bengal, and it will fall on the sea where the Indian Navy ships and the Indian Navy personnel will help and retrieve it safely and bring it back to the shore. So that is this sequence of events as far as today's mission is concerned. It will last only around 531 seconds. So it's a very short duration mission, and since it's not a huge rocket that's being lifted off from Sriharikota, the visibility of it will not be great is what we're being told at this point in time. And just this update that we're getting at this point in time is that the liftoff has been rescheduled to 8:30 a.m. ISRO has just put out that confirmation on its social media account that the liftoff has been rescheduled to 8:30. It was supposed to happen at 8. Earlier also it was supposed to happen around 7:30, 7:45. Then it was changed to 8, and now we're getting to understand that it will happen around 8 a.m. is what we're being told. 8:30 a.m. is what we're being told at this point in time. So clearly, at this point in time, we are at the Sriharikota Satish Dhawan Space Centre, and the command center is already, filling up with the ISRO teams, the members who are part of this mission to see what needs to be done. In a short time from now, this command center will be a buzz with activity, and 8:30 is when the test vehicle will lift off from Sriharikota.
Test vehicle lifts off, but ISRO in a tweet has said, and I'm going to read from there, the liftoff is rescheduled at 8:30 hours and Indian Standard Time, and the live streaming starts at 800 hours is essentially at 8 o'clock is when the live streaming starts, is what ISRO has clearly said. Remember, viewers, we're talking about the Gaganyaan mission launch, and this, of course, is the uncrewed test flight for the Gaganyaan program, getting you all the details. As far as the countdown to the mission Gaganyaan is concerned, is officially on, with the first test flight that has been scheduled today at about 8:30 is what the update is from ISRO. Shilpa, you were talking to us about the fact that it's going to be extremely short in duration. What are the specific parameters that are going to be tested in this particular test mission today?
Well, yes, Neha. In fact, as far as this mission is concerned, what the ISRO is looking at is how the test vehicle performs, how the crew module performs, and how the crew escape system performs. These are the three main aspects that will be looked into, because a crew module and crew escape system are the most important aspects of this mission. Because if at all, once the mission is officially launched, and if at all there is some kind of technical snag or some kind of technical failure that they face, then this is the safety mechanism that has been put in place for the crew, for the astronauts to escape in flight. They need to abort the mission and they need to escape and they need to come back. So this is the safety mechanism that has been put in place. So that is the reason why this will undergo a lot of tests and evaluation, and to see the kind of parameters, what are the kind of the data that they're getting with regards to the performance of these systems and the subsystems during the launch, during when it reaches a high altitude. All of that will be thoroughly analyzed, and to see whether they need to make any changes, to see whether anything has to be rectified. So this, of course, will keep continuing as far as the Gaganyaan mission is concerned, until every system, every subsystem is perfect and there is a very, very low margin of error, because there are human lives at stake for this mission. Yes, Chandrayaan 3 and Aditya L1 mission were all very, very high stake missions, but here there are human lives that are involved. So that is the reason why they cannot afford any mistakes. So we have seen in the past how ISRO has been, they've shown their prowess as far as their missions are concerned, the manner in which they are able to complete very, very complicated missions with high success rate, and even at a very, very low cost. We've seen ISRO's prowess, and that's something that they're trusting at this point in time, to make sure that Gaganyaan is also a very, very successful mission, and that will make India the fourth country in the world to have a manned crew go to the space, to launch a manned crew itself and send them to space. So India will become the fourth country after US, Soviet Union and China. So that, of course, is a very, very high stake mission as far as Gaganyaan is concerned, and we've seen how Chandrayaan 3 and the Aditya L1 mission, it has captured the imagination of the country. There was so much happiness, there was so much joy, there was so much pride when Chandrayaan 3, of course, touched down on that lunar surface. And with Gaganyaan 3, ISRO, with Gaganyaan, I beg your pardon, there ISRO is just trying to push its boundaries and see and trying to capture more and more success. That is something that they're looking at, to push more boundaries and learn and reinvent itself through each mission. That's something that ISRO is very, very keen on. So that is the reason why so many of these tests are going to take place in the coming days and coming months, until the final mission is a go.
That's what the update is also with us. Like we just spoke about, 8:30 is when the mission has gotten rescheduled to just by a few minutes, but the live streaming is at 8 is what ISRO has said.